Welcome back to the ARCS 2020 video education session. In this session, we are going to review the events page and the strips page. As you can see by the highlighted icon, we are in the events page now. This page is divided into three sections. The upper left quadrant indicates all the events that the software recognized with a count for each event indicated. On the upper right is a display of each event or a portion of that particular event. And the very lower portion is a continuous stream of all the ECG data for this particular patient, with whichever event is highlighted in the top depicted in the bottom. And as always, you can scroll through this ECG stream to get a better look at the overview and all the indications in terms of beat classification, such as normal here, the heart rate, and the R to R time period are indicated. So coming back to the upper left, if we have two tachycardias as highlighted here, they are shown in the upper right. If you go to atrial fibrillation, for example, you click on that, and you are depicted 3 atrial fibrillations. Normally, for example, there is only one max HR and one min HR shown in the strips. They are the only strips shown by default. Now you can save any strip you wish. Those are the two default strips. So if you want to save additional strips, for example, using this page, you would click on the event. So in this case, 3 atrial fibrillations, and click on the one you wish to save, and then right-click and click on Save Strip. At this point, you can see that there's a ability to put in symptoms or activities if you know what they are based on this box being checked here. If you just want to put a note in here, such as atrial fibrillation, you can do that. And then it will be a 7-second strip will be saved. If you want to change the time period, you can edit it and you could save 10, 15, whatever amount of time you want. Just keep in mind that the longer the time period, the more paper that's going to be printed on. So we'll go ahead and save this one. And if we jump back over to the strips page, we'll see that here it is. There's the max HR, the min HR, and the atrial fibrillation, which we just saved. Going back to the events page, I'd like to draw your attention to some editing capabilities, and I'll use the min HR as an example. A lot of QC techs will determine that what is shown or picked by the software for the minimum HR may be, in their opinion, not the real minimum HR. So if you have one selected, this is the one that's in the strips page that's saved, and you want to pick a different one, you can go to the upper right and click on Edit. In the Edit section, it shows a page full of other min HR or low HR beat sections, and you could choose a different one. So for example, if we pick this one here at the very last one, and we want to set that as a minimum, you can come down here and set that, click on the bottom, set it as minimum, or if you just want to save it as an additional, you could save strip and edit this strip as we just previously did as another minimum HR. I would also draw your attention to this sinus HR box right here. Very often you won't want that checked, and the reason being is a patient data set, if it has a lot of artifact or they have a lot of atrial fibrillation, the selection of the minimum HR may be compromised based on those situations. So I would advise often you look at the beats with and without the sinus HR in terms of if you're choosing to set a different minimum HR. So coming out of here, that's a summary on the events page and the strips page. If you, as always, if you want to change, you can delete a particular strip. If you want to come down in the strip section in the bottom, if you want to reclassify a particular beat, things like that, you can do that at any time just by right-clicking.